Granny Pep here, and I'm going to show you how I make my little woven hearts. Let's start with the supplies I like to use. First off, scissors, then a ruler, paper strips 1/4 inch wide, tweezers, a triangle. I like the kind with the right angle on them, tiny binder clips, tiny clothespins, some polymer for adhesive, and finally a small piece of a skewer that I use for curling the paper. To get started, the first thing I do is mark each strip 2 inches, and then I go ahead and cut them. For one heart, you need 3 strips 1/4 inch wide, 2 inches long. Now I'm going to cut those in half lengthwise. There's no machine that will do this right. It just causes them to curl, so I use the scissors. Now you have 6 1/8 inch wide strips that are 2 inches long. Now I'm going to grab my triangle so that I can assure that the first 2 strips are at a 90-degree angle. I'm using some diluted Golden Brand matte polymer for adhesion for this project because the paper strips are watercolored. If they were acrylic painted, I would use a gloss medium, also watered down a bit. I'll give it a few minutes to set up because polymer, like acrylic paint, sets up rather than dries. It's a chemical process. Sometimes when I'm making a bunch of these, I clip them so that I don't accidentally bump them out of angle. Now I'll create the warp for this weave by making sure that the strips alternate over, under, over the strip that I'm gluing them to. I also make sure there's a nice little gap between each strip, about the width of the strip, and that way weaving in the opposite direction is easier. I also just like the way it looks with the gaps. Now that that's set up, time to do the weft. And basically, it's just a simple over-under weave, and I'm tacking the strip just to the outside edge. The other bits do not need to be glued. I like to keep a clip just to keep from knocking anything sideways. When you bend paper, it tends to want to crease. So to prevent that, we're going to use that skewer to curl the unwoven ends. Like this. Nothing really extreme. We just want to keep it from creasing. Looks a little spidery, doesn't it? We're going to start weaving the back side of the heart. We want to glue these perpendicular to each other, just like we did when we started out with the 2 strips. And I'll clip it with a little bitty clothespin. Here are some images of what it looks like after it's cured. We're going to work with the center strip now, and we're going to weave it through just like we did before, except now we really need to give attention to the shoulder. We want to kind of crisscross at the kind of center of that strip and then glue it into place. I'm going to clip at the shoulder, and then I'm also going to clip where I'm gluing the end. Be sure to remember to weave. So remember over, under. So this one is going under. And the tweezers will help here, so keep those handy. This is where it gets a little bit fiddly, so just be patient, take your time, and it will come together. Ta-da! You'll want to have the tweezers handy and your clips handy as you weave everything through. Your only other option is to weave one piece, clip, allow it to cure, and then continue 15 to 20 minutes later. But as long as you have your clips, you can continue with this weaving and clipping. And then once you've got all of the pieces together, you can go ahead and just let it cure. This footage is awfully close to the top edge, and I apologize. I'm still learning how to frame stuff when I'm doing these how-to videos. Again, the key to getting this to look right is to clip the shoulders. No need to glue them, just clip them so that they will stay in place and leave you a long enough bit of strip to weave through. Whew, that was pretty fiddly, but look, we're almost finished. Just need to let it rest. Come back when it's cured. Okay, here's how it looks unclipped. Now grab the polymer, and you're just gonna put a little bit of glue on the tip of the heart. Oops, that was too much. All right, there we go. Match the corners and squish it together. Clip it, and now round out the shoulders of the heart, and you want to make sure that those crisscrossing strips are as close together as possible. I like to re-clip them just to train them. And it's rare, but every now and then I will actually glue the, whoops, that strip came loose. Let me fix that. I could speed up this footage, but I want you to see that it takes a little bit of time and a whole lot of patience, but it's worth it in the end. Okay, all clipped and shoulders being trained. Now we just give it a chance to cure one last time and we can unclip. Ta-da! If you followed along and made some hearts, I would love to see them. Also, if you have any constructive criticism, I welcome an email or a comment. You can reach me at gp@grannypep.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.